Marauders Maps, everybody. Welcome to the Bad Reading Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Atlas Novak, and with me today, they're a chaotic good druid with 6 kids and a drinking problem. It's...
Chris Hetlinger, except minus the drinking problem?
Well, that's why I asked how many cats you live with, so that's your kids.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a hard time drinking water through a mask, though, so I guess that is some serious drinking problems there.
The other one I was going to think of was their 23andMe genetic tree is half ninja because of the mask, but I figured that would have been a little racist, so skipped it. But our guest with us today, they're an LA comic. She's an LA comic.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, I'm Älia Meth. Yes, that is my last name. I got it at birth. It's not a stage name. And oddly enough, it's for the mead that my family used to make in the 1800s. So it is narcotics, just not the one you're thinking of.
Wow. I actually thought it was a stage name.
No. It's German Jewish. Literally, I got to keep it when we fled the Nazis. But, well, not me personally. I didn't flee them. But
Yeah.
Right.
I do, in my mind, flee them all the time.
Right.
I mean, they're Nazis we have to flee from nowadays.
Exactly. So I just prepare for that in my mind. I watched Man in the High Castle just to be prepared just in case the worst happens. And I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the people who want to, the actual Nazis that want to do the Nazi, which makes it sound like a dance, but it's not. Do you think that they watch these shows like the Handmaid's Tale, Man in High Castle, and then they're just like, okay, so we know what not to do?
No, I don't think they think that far
No,
ahead.
I think they honestly watch it and they're like, this is the best show that's ever made. It's exactly what we're looking for in our life.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the people who watch Wolf of Wall Street and they're like, I want to be just like him.
Oh, my God.
And they still exist. They're around. They're allowed to be that way. That's the worst one. Is at least we can go, Nazis are bad. You shouldn't watch this show.
Yeah.
And, especially in prisons. But Wolf of Wall Street, it's just they're just allowed to walk into a movie theater and watch that.
Yeah, and then they're like, the thing where he's high on the Quaaludes and he's crawling around. You want to be that, apparently. So,
I mean, it's what you really want is the car.
Right.
What you really want is the car, and the Quaaludes come with it.
Right, of course. That would be interesting if,
fair.
Here's your shiny new Lamborghini. Oh, we left a little baddie of Quaaludes in the glove compartment. So,
Well,
Have fun.
You know those cars they used to give people that would be with the signing bonus, and so they give them a jacket? That's what they do for people that are able to afford a Lamborghini, as buying Sour Patch Kids at a movie.
Yeah.
Sour, sweet, gone. So this episode is coming out on the last Friday of Pride Month, which is why we got a trans comic. Yay.
Pride.
Thank you.
And we got 2 trans people on our show today. Yay.
So that makes me the diversity hire.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So trying not to mansplain here, but here on Bad Reading, we like to ask our guest, Älia, what are you into?
So I'm a huge Pokemon fan.
Right.
I also am a huge, I love animals. Literally I cannot stop petting, Scruffles. Yeah, Scruffles. Mm-hmm. I can't stop petting Scruffles. He's adorbs.
He's very soft, too.
I know, right? And I'm hyperallergenic, it looks like, too.
He is, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh, my friend Carly got a DNA testing kit for her dog to find out what the...
Yeah, just
There's
like
a
me.
20. I didn't even know there was a 23andMe for dogs.
Honestly, it's the safest one. You don't have to, there's no family breakups afterwards.
And you're like, come on, no Nazis, no...
I mean, I didn't embark on Scruffles to find out what he was, and he's approximately 3/4 pug and 1/4 poodle, which is not what I thought he was going to be. I was like, that's a lot of pug.
At least he's not walking around your house going, I'm actually 1/8 Cherokee, so that's okay.
Oh God, those people are the worst. No offense to any of you listeners who are, but I mean, 159 million people were killed across this country to make the one we have now. So please spare me your 1/8 shit.
My dad's side's all Russian and Polish Jew. My mom's side's all British, Irish, Scottish. So there's not really much to it. I am pale as the day is wide.
And
so.
also, another thing is, like, I did get a 23andMe, and I'm essentially about half native, but from South America.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, I don't get jack for that, because it's the wrong native kind of.
At the very least, they should offer you like a cup of coca leaf tea or something.
Yeah, just be like, here's your complimentary coca leaf tea from your ancestors, and be like, thank you.
So
That's awesome, though. And the closest I get is Oktoberfest.
right.
Fun times. Yeah, my
Yeah.
other half is mostly German, so.
Okay, yeah. The other half for me is like mostly Eastern European Jews. So
Yeah.
it was just like,
We are
yeah.
kin.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So if anyone's been paying attention to the internet for the past few weeks, I'm sure you saw that J.K. Rowling decided that she couldn't leave well enough alone with the Harry Potter franchise,
yeah.
and decided
Big
to
sigh.
write on trans women.
Yeah.
So
I read it.
uh-huh.
Don't read it. It's not good.
It's
basically-
bad reading. Roll credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, for reals. It's basically I would say this. If you are looking for new ways to be transphobic and using transphobic ways to be transphobic, she creates some. So
What the
my-
thing about people
Yeah.
who menstruate
Yeah.
or whatever?
Oh
It-
my god.
and she's like, we have to protect cis women from who aren't even cis women, who are trans men or non-binary people, because she's like a lot of autistic people that are like like that she considers cis women are like transitioning, and she says like that is an issue, and it's like that is not something we have heard of. Thank you for adding a horrible thing to the menu.
So it's kind of like the thing where she's like, hey, did you know that before plumbing was invented, wizards would just shit on the floor and then poof it away? I'm like, we didn't need to hear that. We could have gone our whole lives without knowing it, and you just like added to it. Which that needs to be a thing where because of like shows getting, a season 10 plus years later and it's never as good. Arrested Development, Will and Grace, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. There needs to be some kind of thing where after like 5 years of a show being over, you can't go back to it.
So
Or
okay,
a book or whatever.
so here's the thing. I did like Arrested Development season 4, not the re-edit. I'm talking about the original edit, because it was just as funny. Yeah, they weren't all in the same room, but like it was like if you watched the original series where you had to rewatch more of the episodes over and over again to get the jokes. That was the same thing for season 4. I felt like they were like, oh, we got a huge backlash. We have to re-edit this entire season, and we have to make season 5 more like the others, and they just didn't know what they were doing at that point. Comedy was already past the point of where it was in 2006, so like I personally feel like they could have done just ending it at like season 4 where Michael and George Michael hit each other in the face.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, this is one of those shows that honestly, it's a dysfunctional family. Like, even though season 3, the first finale was like, you know what, let's just leave them with the two of them. I felt like that was just a natural progression of the show, and like that could have been the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just...
I have a lot of hot takes.
Sure, it's not really a hot take. It's just the thing where like either you can do the same universe but just different characters, or just do something else. So people are so like, you've heard it all before.
Oh, yeah.
I need the nostalgia, blah blah blah. It's not something that you need to go back to because you arguably tarnished the original art by adding more canon to it. Fucking cursed child.
I mean, you know what? I'd rather something else written by not J.K. Rowling in the
Yeah.
Harry Potter
Seriously.
universe.
Or just the
yeah.
the thing where she goes like, I always imagined Hermione as black. I'm like,
Yeah, right. You didn't.
If you wanted her to be black,
You would have written
really
it
into
into
as
the
it.
story.
black. Yeah.
Yeah, and like she understands what trans is without even like honestly agreeing with it, because somebody posted a passage from the book where like even though I think it was for Deathly Hallows when they're all like putting on the fake Harry stuff so that they
right.
could get away from the
Battle of the Seven Potters.
Yeah, and so like it says in that part of like the book that Hermione puts on Harry's glasses and she's like, "You have terrible eyesight, Harry." And as she's putting it on, she writes with the she pronouns, even though she's recognizing that she looks like Harry, which is exactly the whole point of like being trans. It's like it's not about what you look like on the outside; it's about who you are on the inside and the expression that you hope to one day do, however you transition.
We call that a self-aware wolf, where they come so close to the point and then just move right past it.
Oh God!
And this is why I like the Marauders era like fic so much better than I like. I mean, it's just it gives the writers a little bit more room, and also like it's so far divorced from like now what pretty much after the third book, I think she kind of lost her spark.
Which sucks because I like Goblet of Fire. I like the whole Triwizard Tournament.
Up until the end. Like, that one was pretty good until
sure.
the end. Like, I liked Fleur Delacour, and I honestly, like, oh my God.
I am happy that it gave us Robert Pattinson because he's a fantastic actor. Like, no joke. I cannot wait for the Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind if I give, like, a shout-out to trans people that may be listening? So I just want to say to all of you right now, I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter. I wanted to do this because I want to dunk on J.K. Rowling. But the most important thing is you are valid. You are, because I'm part of this community as well. And so is Chris. So you are valid. Who you are matters no matter what anyone says. It's very nice that famous people came out that worked with Rowling and supported us. But no, even without their words, even if you live in a home that does not support you, you are valid and you can find community, especially in the internet age. Even if you have to hide for a little bit, you know who you are and you will be safe when you can find a place to eventually move to or find a place where people will love you and accept you and take you in. You are valid. Sorry, I just really needed to say that because we are doing a Harry Potter episode.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is the second time on Bad Reading that our guest is not a fan of the IP we're doing. Go listen to the Home Improvement episode if you want another instance of this. But, the story we're reading today is called 5 Reasons Not To. And it's on fanfiction.net. We will put the link to it in the description for the credit and go find it yourself. It's by somebody called Rekka Neko.
It's a fantastic name. It feels like one you'd watch in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they're like it's that earthbending ring. Like that's one of their names.
Earth Rumble 6. It's Rekahneko. Rekka Neko. Remus reminds himself about why his friendship with Sirius shouldn't be tampered with. /RLSB. Which you're better versed in the ways of the internet than me. What does RLSB mean?
I don't know.
Fuck. Okay. Real professional of us.
I used to write fanfic. I don't anymore, so I was hoping you would be able to explain it.
I know what slash is, and they say this is slash.
Indeed.
Slash being
slash.
gay? Yeah.
Yeah. Generally.
It's literally just like, oh no, that's shipping. So yeah.
Royal
slash.
London Society for the Blind. That's not right.
That's clearly what they mean.
Let's see. Right lower scapular border. Research Laboratory for Social Behavior.
Is it just not available on Urban Dictionary?
Is it Remus Lupin Sirius Black, probably?
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Royal London Society for the Blind. Let's do it. Okay. Warnings. This is slash. If you're not sure what that means, you can look it up if you want. If you don't like slash, you probably won't want to read it because that would be silly.
I've also heard this ship called Wolf Star because Sirius is the dog star. In the sky, and obviously Remus is a werewolf. So
yeah. My favorite thing is that, like, to denote like chapter breaks, instead of having a line, it's the letter O over and over.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's You want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
All right. Remus Lupin and Sirius Black were walking down a hallway in Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry between classes. It was turning out to be a pleasant spring day, sunny and warm, and the whole school seemed to be in a happy and relaxed mood. The laid-back atmosphere was broken suddenly when the black-haired boy stopped in his tracks, made a loud exclamation, and hit himself in the forehead. Padfoot? Remus inquired, wondering if his friend had finally lost it.
Moony, I totally forgot to do my Care of Magical Creatures homework. Let's do this afternoon, and I don't have a single free hour before then. And my phone turned off. Hang on. Maybe if I skip History of Magic or something. Sirius managed to produce a tragic look while wringing his hands. I really need a good grade after what happened last month with the boat truckles.
Well, I have the next few hours free. If you want, I could do it for you, Remus said tentatively. I mean, only since it is so important, he added as an afterthought.
Oh, should I do a British accent?
You can if you want. I'm just doing it to practice.
All I imagine right now is just like that moment where you're like, you're about to like ask somebody out of fear. You're like, I don't know, maybe I can help you, maybe I can't.
Yeah.
And just like that moment where you're just trying to see if they connect with you. And I already am starting to love it. This is why fanfic was made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we could have a show also.
Oh,
That's-
right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
and,
the only reason people are fan.
and to hear ourselves talk.
All right. I like how I'm grinning behind this mask and you can't tell. It's just...
Unfortunately, you can't see your beautiful faces today.
All right,
Sorry.
well, mine and the wonderful producer who's
Yes.
helping us with the
Shout out to
You
Joey.
can see
Yeah.
their beautiful faces, but ours, because we're too close to each other right now.
Yeah, that's what you get for jacking it in San Diego.
Yeah, well, I had to do it because
Had
I
to-
was sad.
Had to go on vacation and for your own self-care and happiness.
For my sanity.
Because fuck you. No.
I mean, Comic-Con was canceled, so we all got it.
Yeah.
As if you can get tickets for that anymore.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Unless you are in something.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like someone who has a press badge or something like that.
Yeah, or you just like steal somebody else's at the showers.
I could easily see that being some kind of like shitty heist movie. where it's just, it's a bunch of neckbeards and they're like,
Comic-Con magic.
guys, we have to get into Comic-Con. And like, instead of stealing like a valuable jewel or information or something, you just steal Comic-Con badges.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
You just need 8 of them to get to every a hall event.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would actually love to see a sketch like that where it's like a super complicated, so like, all right, here's our, our demolitions guy, blah, blah, blah. And then it just turns out that they're stealing something stupid like a Comic-Con badge.
Yeah,
Oh,
but like
love
obviously
that.
don't steal the one that J.K. Rowling's going to.
Yeah. I think
Or just steal her so she can't get in.
I
There
mean
you
that's
go.
fair too.
Yeah.
But I mean she has billions of dollars. If not, she'll just like bribe security.
Yeah, I can see
Oh,
that.
that's true. They
Yeah.
probably recognize her by her face.
What if they didn't though?
That sounds very sinister. Like, how could we make it so she's not recognizable?
I mean, I was not thinking of botched like facial surgery.
I was imagining something more archaic, like tarring and feathering.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that costs a lot less than what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I was thinking of the general of beating someone up so bad so like you can't tell what their face looked like. Like what happened when I was snowboarding one time and I was like, one more run. And then I face planted in the ice. And I was
Ooh.
like, never do that one more run. Never. When you're tired at the end of the day and you're like, one more. No, that is when you stop. You do not do another one.
If you decide to one more time, you need the Daft Punk mask, otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wonderful, I love that.
I may or may not have got a concussion that day.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
It's unclear.
I'm just a very compassionate person. You can shut me up if you want.
They,
no.
they have brain dabblage now.
I have lots of brain damage. I've gotten multiple concussions, so at this point it's fine. I've gotten my. I've come to terms with my brain damage.
It's okay. I had a concussion when I was 6, so I get it.
It's not fun.
Yeah, it makes me forget J.K. Rowling more.
Yeah, there you go. The benefits.
Yeah.
It's your line of dialogue.
You would do that for me? Remus, you're an angel.
Sirius beamed at his classmate and threw his arms around the shorter boy for a bone-crushing hug.
I absolutely adore you, you know?
Remus pulled away from the hug, smiling a bit and trying not to blush. I would say any time, but I'm afraid you might take me up on that. Sirius grinned and draped an arm around his friend's shoulders, hauling him close.
You're always so great to me, Mooney.
Remus smiled, but looked away and absently fingered a piece of paper that stuck out a little bit from the pocket of his robe.
Remus, why do you always carry that big dog-eared parchment around with you so much?
Big of dog-eared parchment?
Yeah.
Let's play the missing noun game.
Big piece of.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, especially when it's doing that like phallic jokes from like ancient Greece theater. Sorry, I was in theater when it was in college, you know. Yeah, I can't even speak. I feel like I wrote this. Yeah, I did theater in college, and specifically was a theater major. So for people who don't understand, ancient Greek theater was a lot of dick jokes. Parchments were rolled up in dildos. Like, that's how it was back then. So
They were so chill with that stuff too.
yes.
Like our ancient cultures are so much better than our cultures now, and I don't understand why.
Honestly, I just wish that like you could just throw a dildo at the president.
If someone could throw a shoe at the president, which, by the way, there is a statue devoted to that journalist who threw the shoe at George Bush. It is a giant shoe with flowers growing out of it.
In Iraq, right?
In Iraq, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
So
God.
if someone could throw a dildo at the president,
Please do.
please.
We'll
I beg
erect
of
a
you.
statue for you in some country where it's not.
Erect a statue?
That's right.
You know, he talks about his hands so much. So, like, honestly, when he does, just in mass, like in Robin Hood Men in Tights, throw a bunch of dildos at him.
Yes.
I mean, his birthday, at the time of recording this anyway, his birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
And there's like something floating around where someone was considering just everybody tweet pictures of Obama at him
Yeah, I
on
saw
his
that.
birthday. And then like on 4th of July, tweet out all countries matter. And like,
I think we're saving that for July 4th.
yeah. For
Yeah,
4th of
yeah,
July,
yeah, yeah.
Which I'm in. Why not?
Yes.
Dog-eared parchments.
Oh,
I know it is the same one.
yeah. I know it's the same one because it still has that stain from when I spilled pumpkin juice all over it last month.
Hey, how come like why do they drink pumpkin juice?
Well, you know, why does anyone drink anything that is a weird juice?
Okay,
Yeah.
but like it seems to be a Wizarding World thing only, and I literally think that J.K. Rowling just had a list of like fruits and vegetables and was like, okay, apple, everyone's seen that. No lemonade, no cranberry, unless someone has UTI.
Fun
Pumpkins,
fact,
fuck it.
That
Like,
doesn't
yeah.
actually help unless you get unsweetened like
yeah,
Yeah, it's.
cranberry juice, and it's
I've had it before.
it's not very good.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's. I mean, just go to the doctor and get some antibiotics.
Although I like horseradish, so whatevs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horseradish juice or just horseradish?
Yeah, no, horseradish juice, everybody.
Gross.
It's the quenchiest.
The first quenchiest.
Friendly mushroom, mushy giant
It's a
friend.
mushroom cloud.
But I don't know. It just seems like the type of thing she threw in there to make it seem strange.
I think
But that's it.
it's more like witchy because pumpkins and Halloween and
guess,
witches
but-
and stuff.
Yeah, if this is taking. Well, this isn't even J.K. Rowling, so you know.
Yeah.
It's not, but she does
Yeah.
mention pumpkin juice.
lot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
from what you've all said.
Yeah. It's just lucky, that's all, Remus mumbled, looking down at his feet and shuffling uncomfortably.
You have a lucky blank parchment.
There was a short pause as Sirius put on his best pensive look.
Remus, you are a little odd, you know that.
Flashing an amused smile over at his friend, Sirius steered the conversation to the next Quidditch match as the two boys continued their way down the hall.
Ooh, woo, 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 woo.
I mean, that's just great. I love that.
Well, like, that's their way of chapter breaking.
No, that's exactly what I mean. How can you not pronounce that while reading it?
Ooh, yeah. Your turn.
That evening, Remus found himself alone in the 7th year boys' dormitory. 2 of his roommates were at Quidditch practice, and one was in the common room playing chess. Just one person was in the common room playing chess by himself.
I mean,
it is wizard chess. There's probably
I used to play a lot of chess on my phone, so like, yeah, it's
Maybe it's magic, so he's playing with somebody else in like another common room or
that'd
something.
be cool.
That would
right?
be cool, yeah. Because they're all like segregated from each other in there.
And
Like,
this is when Remus and Lupin were kids. So like in
Yeah.
the Harry Potter universe, Harry's like in the 90s when all that is happening. So like
Yeah.
this is the 60s. Like
Wait.
It would be
Harry
the
Potter
60s,
was in
yeah.
the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I always thought it was like since the first one came out.
No.
No.
No, I think it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I
Because
think that's canonly. It was supposed to take place then.
Oh.
Yeah, because if you play the first game on like the computer, they have cards that let you know when, like, what year, like Harry started going to Hogwarts and stuff.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All
So this is like the 60s at the earliest.
Or the
I
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
maybe?
One of
No,
those
it's probably the 60s.
Well, because
They're young.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because I thought they were like in their early 40s.
I mean,
I
it
guess-
could be 50s or 60s or 70s.
70s, I could see.
I like 60s. I'm gonna go with 60s.
Okay. But like even still, that'd be like playing wizard's chess like with a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's still really cool though.
I'm sure that was a thing. That had to have been a thing.
Yeah.
Again, I like the idea of like them having inter-common room like playing areas, so like they can. I mean, you can't see the other person, but like you could play chess with them because they can't go into anyone else's common room. Like a Gryffindor can't go into a Ravenclaw common room, but maybe you could play some chess against someone else.
They were way prepared for COVID back then.
Yeah, they were
What?
ready for the social distancing.
Yeah.
What house are you two?
My dad has very vehemently told me that I was Ravenclaw, so I.
The blue kind of fits it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. My favorite color is green, but I do wear a lot of blue.
That's fair. I'm more of a Hufflepuff, honestly, if I would be honest.
Yeah.
I took
Yeah,
that test
too.
3 times. I got Hufflepuff all 3 times.
Yeah. When I cared about it more, I was like, oh, I really want to be Gryffindor, and it's like, why?
Because main character status.
Yeah, exactly.
No, of course, but like at the end of the day, like you're almost likely going to die. Just be a Hufflepuff. It's easier.
Just be a Hufflepuff. It's easier. It needs to be over the common room. Also, you're next to the kitchens, and it's like super cozy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
like so like and the Slytherin common room is all like dark stone and cold and stuff. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, cause you're all edgelords.
And
Like,
it's all
Yeah.
it's like under the lake or something.
yeah,
And you
something
can-
like that.
yeah.
I don't remember.
All I know is that like being a Slytherin, you're automatically evil. So like I'm just surprised they didn't just like give them their own school and just let everybody else do their own thing.
Not all of them though. There was Sirius's brother wasn't evil, and he was.
No,
was
of course,
housing-
but like the way they portrayed it in
They-
like the
yeah.
movies and every like
And then
yeah.
also
Initially.
apparently
Yeah.
they're like Merlin was a Slytherin. Huh? Famous wizard.
Well,
Slytherin.
I mean,
Wait.
they shat on the floor, so
Yeah. Time to get swifty in here. Okay.
Oh my god! When I think of a Gryffindor, I think of Link. Who
okay.
is like the quintessential Gryffindor. Brave,
Stupid.
dumb, yes, but wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hermione wasn't just put in Ravenclaw.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or the main 3 characters were like, even though they're all Gryffindor, they kind of fit in the other 3 houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Where you have Ron and Hufflepuff and Harry and Slytherin.
I'm surprised that like there weren't more of those like Harry hoarding sats. Yeah,
Sorting-
hoarding sats.
Hoarding sats.
Yeah, sorting hats moments. Yeah, I think I might have Lysdexia, everybody. But yeah, because like he was the only one that they did that with, and I think even in the books where it's like that. If all of them are like so different from their own house, like why isn't the line taking so long before they can eat?
I think the Sorting Hat took a little bit longer with Hermione, so it was probably trying to decide between Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, but why Gryffindor? Maybe it's because
Yeah.
I think maybe the Ravenclaws were less like studious and more just like actually that kind of intelligence where you maybe don't necessarily have to study all the time, but you're willing to study as much as you need to. That's how that was my life in high school where I was like super lazy and I just did the bare minimum to get like the good grades.
Gotcha. Same here, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was safety. I went to my safety school and dropped out. So, yeah, I totally relate.
I went to a lie of a UC. UC Riverside. There's no river.
Yeah.
They don't tell you till you get there. I was super pissed off. But it was the kind of thing where my mom was like, "Hey, so your dad and I were in divorce court for 8 years and we ran each other out of money, so it's state school or nothing." I'm like, "Cool, I can stop trying." So
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Cal Poly Pomona because they offered me more, scholarships than any other school.
yeah, but I
So
Yeah, I dropped out of Hofstra, so and then I went to CSUN. eventually. Yeah.
Hooray for CSUN.
Yeah. It's a great school.
I took a statistics class there. It's the only class I took in CSUN, and it was a shout out to Professor John Dye. If you're still teaching, you were a great statistics
Wait,
teacher.
his name was John Dye?
Yeah.
Okay, my elementary school was called John Thomas Dye.
No way.
I'm not fucking kidding.
Oh, wow.
And it's in Brentwood, and it's like bougie as fuck. That's when
Brentwood.
That's when my parents were still married before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's like one of those everybody wear uniforms and art classes. Everything has to be the same, and just
I kind of almost wish that like
fuck that school.
we had to wear uniforms in high school though, because with the caveat of that you could like modify your uniform to make it your own.
Yeah.
Because like I love the aesthetic of like having a uniform, but like I would, obviously I would wear pants and not a skirt, and I would probably like put a bunch of like pins on my lapels and stuff. And
they were polo shirts, and they had to be blue, dark blue, navy blue shorts or pants.
no, see, I'm thinking of like the Japanese style of like school uniforms,
The
or
loose
like
tie.
yeah,
and
like the tie, and like and you can have like the loose tie if you want to have it, and like if you want to. Like there's the option of wearing a tie or a bow, so you can like if you want to be like femme,
Tucker
you can
Carlson.
wear a bow.
Ugh.
Not like a bow tie, but like those large bows.
You don't want me to vomit on this dog, do you? Like,
Yeah, Mike would kill us.
yeah.
All right.
But I did grow up in elementary school and middle school having to wear uniforms.
But they weren't like the fun kind.
Well, no. But also, they would never be the fun kind for me because I would have wanted to wear the dress.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, again, with the caveat of what would never happen, which is that you're allowed to choose what you want to wear
Yep.
as far as the uniform goes. And
Yeah.
you have the individuality to like modify your uniform a little bit, which would never happen. But
Horrible
like,
polo shirts for days.
I just imagine you like being at home as a kid and Say Yes to the Dress comes on. You're like, oh, come on!
I mean, yeah, that was like my mom would love to watch like the red carpet and stuff, and I'd be like, "Ooh, her dress is pretty, but I mean, who cares?" And then just walk away and be like, "I really care." Okay.
All right, keep going.
okay. Where was I?
That evening.
Okay, that evening, Remus found himself alone. And this is the playing chess thing. Okay, he carefully took out the parchment he had carried around all day and unfolded it. Remus looked around to be absolutely sure that he was alone and softly said, "Reasons not to." While tapping the paper with his wand, he began to reread what he had written so long ago. 5 reasons not to. And hang on, my phone is being weird and not letting me scroll. Yeah, it's perfect. There we go. 5 reasons not to. 1, he likes girls. So far as I can tell, he only likes girls. He would probably be upset by the idea of dating a guy. Sirius is so obviously like pan or bi, like it. Anyway, even if he was okay with dating a guy, the kinds of people he dates tend to be beautiful like he is. Somehow I don't think he would be interested in a pale, skinny, sickly boy covered in scars. Come on, twinks are some guys' types. Come on. Let's be real.
I mean, for reals, he's just like giving every bad reason to
Yeah.
be scared. Not, this is 10 things I hate about you, but 5 reasons I'm scared to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scared to ask you out.
Yeah.
If he can see beyond my looks, what about my personality? He only dates outgoing, popular people, once again, like he is. Does he, though? Like, didn't Sirius? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know enough about I read so much fan fiction, I don't know what's canon anymore.
All I know is, like, he's related to a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah.
So, like, why are you worried? Like, he probably is just happy for a normal man.
Yeah, exactly. The only popularity I have comes from being a marauder, and I am much too shy, quiet, studious, and rule-bound for him. He can barely deal with me as a friend sometimes. What?
I mean...
Hey, you're doing his homework for him. You're like, at the very least,
Yeah.
consider it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's just being self-loathing, which I get. Like, you have self-loathing when you're a teenager.
But, like, at the same time, Sirius is, like, a really good wizard, because let's be honest, he escaped Azkaban eventually and all that shit. So, like, there's no way you can't do well with that kind of wizard. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, power couple goals. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta recognize that early.
And also, like, he chose to be sorted out of Slytherin too because he didn't want to be like with all of his like family who was classist and elitist and stuff. He was like, nah, I'm gonna slum it with these people here.
Yeah, so like honestly, you are worrying about the wrong thing, sister.
Yeah.
There's a theory that all Gryffindors are like that because people had the courage to ask.
Oh, to ask to not be sorted into
Or
a
just,
different.
can I be in Gryffindor? Or something like that, which, I don't know. It seems
So that's all it takes.
doable.
That makes
Maybe.
maybe if like there's something else that you're supposed to do but you don't want to.
I have gotten on many a comedy show by just going, hey, you have spots in a few weeks? To like, yeah, man. Send me a tape or something. Like it.
I think because that may be the only thing that like differentiates the other houses from Gryffindor.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, can I do it?
I mean, the Hufflepuffs are supposed to be like hardworking and stuff, but really they just all seem like they're pretty much happier and like maybe more mentally stable than the rest of the people.
And Gryffindor, it's literally like bravery. So like just asking is the bravery question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, well you asked.
Yeah, I absolutely probably would have been sorted into Ravenclaw at that point though, because I probably would, like as an 11-year-old kid, I would have just been like sitting there and just been like, okay, all right, cool. I guess I get to go with the Raven people.
Yeah, I would have just been like, which one keeps me alive the longest?
And they would have been like Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff go.
I mean, like during Chamber of Secrets, there's that thing where when the basilisk is running around, they're like, "We're going to have to send the kids home," and then Harry is like, "No, but I have to go back to the fuck that. I'm gonna kill a snake, so I don't have to go home." But like, I get the feeling there has to be at least one like, "Hey, this is a magic school, so your kids might like fucking die here."
I mean, people did die there.
Yeah. So like, why didn't people just go, well, we're just gonna put our kids in like public school? Like, there's that option.
I mean, that's also a thing. You might also fucking die in public school, depending on how bad. The
In
school
America,
is.
in England, it's different.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess for American wizards and witches, I guess it really is up to you.
Well,
They had
Ilvermorny is probably better than that's like the American wizard school.
apparently
yeah.
another thing that got added like later on.
because of Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because they had to be like, how did American wizards learn?
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, they had schools too.
Well, also at that point, it's kind of like you shouldn't just make it Europe. And I think there was one also in Africa, like or something like that I heard.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do
Do they have more like shamanistic magic?
I couldn't tell you. I feel like I need to read up on more African culture and African stories because we aren't taught that at all, and I think that's a huge blind spot.
Oh
The
yeah.
one thing that we did learn was in my theater class in high school because we did a bunch of African legends as like a play. So that's like the extent of like the African like mythology and stuff that I was taught. And I took a mythology course too. There was nothing there. The closest thing to it was, the Mesopotamian mythology, which is not Africa. It's a little bit north of there.
Or I get the feeling if someone chooses to flesh that out, I guarantee you they're gonna make Mansa Musa into a wizard. The richest man who ever lived, who managed to destroy the economy of an entire continent because he was walking around being like dollar bills, y'all, and like literally giving money to people that he caused hyperinflation. He had that much money. So it would just be a thing that would explain away like, yeah, Mansa Musa was able to create money with his wand, and that's how he destroyed the economy of an entire continent.
Why do you have 1,000 Reddit
You
pages
you leave my computer alone.
Honestly,
Also,
this is why we need Jeff Bezos to start giving out money because
Yeah.
he has way too much.
There needs to be a redistribution of wealth.
There
as much
totally
as rich
does.
people like hate to hear that, they're like, "But
Where-
you gotta earn it." I'm
Yeah.
like, "But
where's my
friggin'
Teddy
hell."
Roosevelt? Come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
seriously.
Wait, don't you mean Franklin?
Yes, FDR.
Well, no, Teddy Roosevelt trust busting.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, okay.
trust
Yeah.
busting for Teddy,
Yeah.
and
Both
then
Roosevelts.
Both Roosevelts.
Yeah.
We need our Roosevelts. Come
yeah.
on.
Well,
With one
let's be
ability
honest.
to walk and the other with the ability to defeat the
Oh.
Nazis. Together, they are Super Roosevelts.
It's the hot one with polio, and the one who looks like a bear.
Oh, the one from that's from Juno, isn't it?
Yeah.
That line. He's the hot one with polio.
And the gay wife.
Is it my turn? Or-
Oh, it's just you can continue on with the
I thought
the
you-
next reason why.
oh, wait, where were you?
I think on the fourth reason why.
It was
Yeah.
There
was,
better not be 13 of these. Fuck that
No.
I
shit.
mean, no.
It says 5. The title of the story is 5.
5.
Let
Jinx.
me rip on 13 reasons why.
Oh, thank God my phone is working again.
Okay, so yeah, just continue then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, headphone users.
He can barely deal with me as a friend sometimes. Think of all the occasions when he complains about me studying too much or how he teases me when I fret about breaking rules. You need someone like that in your friend group, though.
Yes.
You need the team mom,
Katara.
which is and Makoto and Free. I freaking love Free. Anyway,
Yeah. I just finished my Avatar: The Last Airbender rewatch.
Yeah.
4th or 5th for me. I
Same.
can't even remember.
I
So,
don't know.
yeah.
Katara was definitely team mom in the beginning. I don't know if it kind of like partially shifted over to Sokka later on.
I would say Suki at most.
Nah, Suki didn't do all that much.
She really didn't, but
She
like,
didn't, but she was.
Well, because
Yeah.
she was off doing her own thing for most of the show.
yeah, but
Also, I freaking love Suki. She is fine.
yeah.
You
Oh,
guys, you guys read the Kyoshi novel?
no,
No.
you asked
Yeah.
me that. I unfortunately I can't like. I would love
Yeah.
to like get all these Avatar books, and Korra books, because like, and Avatar Kyoshi now.
Yeah.
But I just haven't. I've read synopses. It's very interesting.
It's not the same, man.
It's not, no. But like I want to read Korra the most, honestly. Just what would probably explicitly explain my besides just my transness, but like being a trans woman is as a queer trans woman, I would say that I hadn't even transitioned yet. But I was just like so overjoyed and like crying when they just started walking over, and I watched that a billion times. The end of Korra, where they just hold. Oh, sorry, spoilers. Where Korra and Asami hold hands and
And
just
they're
walk
just
into the
going.
spirit portal. Yeah.
Didn't it end like 5 years ago?
Yes.
So you get a year. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
you get a year for spoilers, and then you can't complain anymore.
Yeah.
I thought it was 10, but I'll take your word
Fuck,
on it.
fuck 10 years. I had somebody get mad at me for spoiling a part of The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, that is okay. At that point, it's your fault. It's in
Yeah.
the lexicon. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
How did you feel about Mulan? Because that was like the first thing when I was like, I identified so much with Mulan, and to this day, I feel like Mulan is kind of like she's like non-binary.
So okay, so I love to sing. Absolutely love
Me
it.
too.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Reflections is the trans anthem.
It is, and I used to sing it a lot when I was a kid, which obviously makes sense now.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes I'll still sing a part of it that I even remember. And I will say, like, I love the musical. I hate a lot of the Disney remakes. I haven't even watched most of them.
I haven't. Did
I have-
the Mulan one even air?
It was supposed to
yet?
come out this May, but then they had to push it back to COVID.
Okay.
And they don't. I think it released in China for a little bit, but it hasn't released here. And I don't think they want to do Disney Plus because they want that money.
Right.
And like they're just not like that's the reason why Artemis Fowl came out yesterday, and Mulan is going to be next year supposedly if COVID's gonna last a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's already the second wave is.
It's
at
not
the-
even
We're not
technically
even-
the second wave.
We're not even
It's still-
done with
yeah.
the first
Yeah.
wave here.
It's still yeah.
Yeah, so it was smart of me to take off my mask, guys.
I mean, you're across the room from us. For the
Yeah.
for the viewer, it looks like we're next to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris and I are next to each other, but like,
I didn't even know that you guys. This was also like taped as well, but I saw
Yeah.
the camera, so I was
Camera,
like, that makes
camera.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I looked on YouTube and I couldn't find it.
Oh.
I put in bad reading, but it probably was like bad lip reading.
yeah,
yeah.
You gotta do like minus lip or.
Yeah.
You could have asked me. I would have sent you a
It-
link.
it's okay.
We're trying. We will defeat the algorithm one day.
One
No
day.
worries, no worries. just like keep putting meth into it, and then all the meth heads will watch it.
Yeah.
And we'll also have some more bad playing, just not for the next couple of weeks.
Because Jack and it in San Diego, I have a dentist appointment after this. And,
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
Yeah.
unfortunately, no bad playing today.
Yeah.
Although we might do some stuff with Backseat Dad and me. So, in any case,
I mean, this is why I love getting rid of my parents because I don't have that problem anymore.
it's a term of endearment. My dad is great. He's been on the
Oh.
show and everything. Like he's very supportive.
that's
and
nice.
It's really I lucked out with one of my parents.
Yeah,
That's at least nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
we've both had one of our parents for the Mother and Father's Day episode, respectively.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
then I'm happy that you were able to have backseat dad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually have a tattoo of the Sheikah symbol on my shoulder,
cool.
specifically because we played all of the Legend of Zelda games together.
Hot.
That's adorable.
So
I love it.
I got it on his birthday, in I think 2000. I don't remember, like several years ago now, many moons ago. But I got it on his birthday as like a, so it's always going to be solidified that I play Zelda with my dad.
That must have been such a weird, way to do that. Did you just show up with gift wrap all along your arm?
It wasn't a gift for
Or-
him. It was for me.
Oh,
Um,
in tribute to him. I literally thought you were like, "Hey, Dad, happy birthday!" Whoop.
No, my dad, he's not that into people getting tattoos, but it was the one thing I could do with him, not, there's no way that he could be mad about it, because it's just this is just me basically tattooing "I love you, Dad" on my arm.
It's
so.
like Disney's nostalgia for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really sweet though. That honestly, I love it. The
Yeah.
only time my dad and I, when I was younger, did that because he was a doctor. Did that sort of bonding over video games was him watching me play GTA 4. So
Wow, that's intense.
yeah, so I was the one teaching him how to have sex with hookers and then kill them
Oh
to
my
get your
God.
money back.
Okay, Dad. So I know you taught me how to walk, but this is how you kill a hooker and take your money back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is a terrible thing to do in real life. Don't do it.
Yes, please don't.
Especially for
Bad
Dad's
rating
a boomer.
in no way condones killing hookers to get your money back.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
But it does condone donating to patreon.com/badreadingpod. Okay, I'm done.
And also donating to anything that's, I think, there's the Trevor Project and other things that are,
Yeah. Trans Lifeline.
yes.
There's also
Yeah.
something called the Okra Project, which donates to black trans folks, and helps provide them with food and stuff. We'll put a link for that too.
Yes.
They're also doing a fundraiser in the name of Tony McDade, who was one of the black trans men who have been killed in the recent spates of police murders of of black people and
Pretty much anyone who's protesting.
Yeah, and there were 2 trans women who were recently found to be murdered and released the data yesterday. And I wish I remembered their names right now. I just don't. And please do your part. Look up, find which city and state they were in, and call those. Call the district attorneys and call their attorney generals and ask for because we're not investigated often when we are murdered. So
That's
please call in and tell them to investigate.
Dude, that would make a great Phoenix Wright case.
It would.
Oh my God, yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
That would be one of those things where they just slip it in as case 3. And then
Yeah.
everyone's like, what the fuck? This is amazing. Because case 3 is always the worst one.
Well, I mean, I have a friend who lives in Japan. They're Japanese, and they are non-binary, and they have basically told me how bad it is for So I wouldn't really expect that they'd be doing a trans or even a gay case for Phoenix Wright yet. Unfortunately,
They did do research by reading BL manga before they made the second game, after they made the first, when they realized that a huge demographic of their players were
Really?
shipping Phoenix and Miles.
Aww.
But they did it under the radar because of course the company was like, we don't want to support that, but the people were like, this is part of our demographic, so
Yeah.
they're just silent,
Yeah.
quietly reading gay manga.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I sent them a meme earlier this week. Have you seen the meme where it's yes, me, my girlfriend, and the 40-foot tall Mareep?
No.
Okay, so it's a meme where it's the boyfriend is just in bed, he's annoyed, and then next to him is his girlfriend, and she's cuddled up with this huge sheep, Pokemon sheep, Mareep. So
I'm aware.
So it's for the people who might not know who Pokemon is.
Oh,
But
fine.
the meme just turns into yes, me, my boyfriend / girlfriend, and whatever the meme is. I sent one to them where it's Phoenix and Miles, And it's like, oh yes, me, my boyfriend, and his updated autopsy report. And he's like hugging a giant manila envelope.
It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
All right.
All right. Are we gonna disappoint people if we don't tell them all the reasons why?
Let-
he's
yeah,
scared?
Let's
Let's,
at least get to
yeah.
the reasons why.
Let's
Yeah.
wrap this puppy up.
Okay. 4. Let's say he gets past all of that and is still interested. How long do his relationships last? 2 weeks at most? Well, it's because he hasn't found the right person yet.
Yeah.
You know you were already in love is scratched out. Attached. Imagine how much worse it would get in those 2 weeks and how difficult it will be when he drops you. 5. Still want to take the risk? Well, think about the friendship you do have. You would probably still be alone and friendless if he hadn't approached you on the train first year and practically forced you to be his friend. And yet, one of his early reasons is that he doesn't think that he's a good friend. It's confusing.
Objection.
Yeah,
overall.
objection.
Or sustained. I don't know
yeah.
which.
It's like, take that. Here's the evidence. What's the evidence? Contradicts the... What was...
Oh, the evidence contradicts the testimony.
funny.
No. Fuck.
You'd think I know better considering I have 3 relatives that are lawyers.
Well, the only, like, lawyerly stuff I know is, like, Phoenix Wright, which is not
Nowhere
real.
near. Yeah. Have you ever watched Legal Eagle on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Definitely, like, if you like that understanding law and stuff, definitely check him out.
I will
Dad's
do
a
that.
doctor, mom's a nurse. I couldn't perform surgery if I tried. That's just...
I feel
Just
ya.
because they're lawyers doesn't mean you have to be. You know?
No, but it's like it's nice because then you can be like, and if something happens, like I know some legal stuff.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember one time at the doctor, I said the phrase integumentary system, and my doctor was like, holy shit, you know what that is? And I was like, uh-huh. And you could tell he wanted to nerd out about medicine, but I didn't know enough for him to continue, so he was like, yeah, so about those stool samples.
That's like me when I speak German to somebody. I'm like, mein Deutsch ist nicht gut, aber ich sehr langsam lernen. And people are like, wait, you speak German? I'm like, that's about as good of a sentence you're gonna get from me.
Je ne pas parler français.
Same.
Yeah.
You
I'm a
remember-
dual citizen, that's why.
Ah,
Oh, that's
okay, That's
awesome.
dope.
Yeah.
All right.
Fun facts with meth.
I'm putting that as the little like blurb on the
Yeah.
thumbnail. Fun facts.
Fun
with
facts
Math.
with
Yeah.
math.
Yeah.
He tolerates all your bad points and encourages all your good ones. Not only did he accept the fact that you were a werewolf, and how many people in the world would? He even became an animagus for you, for goodness sake. You were lucky to know him at all, and blessed to be his friend. Don't screw it up by betting it all on an improbable relationship. The title had been changed a bit over the years, and the 5 had been crossed out and replaced with a 4. This corresponded / through the first item on the list. There were also small question marks inscribed next to the second and third items.
That just makes it sound like your English teacher went over it and was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
See me. 0. You know?
I mean, I'd hope they'd have a nicer teacher than that. But if they did, I'd at least want that to be like done with magic. Because honestly, if you're using red pen, why are you even like teaching there?
Yeah.
Well, they use quills, I thought.
Yeah, they
Right.
do. For some
They
reason,
do.
it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it tries to make it seem more magic-y, I guess.
What's more magical about using quills that were used in like the 1500s?
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason, like, in the Abhorsen series that we talked about with my dad, the stuff that is made by machines degrades in the area where there's magic. So magic will degrade items that are not, like, handmade and crafted.
Okay.
So it has to be made, like, in the old ways. Otherwise, stuff that's, made with machinery, and then, like, so guns don't work there.
And that's how
pens
you
don't
explain it
work.
away.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that was like
okay.
an explaining away thing. This has no explaining for why people don't just use pens.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I always assumed it was like how you can be like racist towards Muggles. I assumed it was like
A
it's a
racism thing.
Wait,
it's a Muggle.
It's
thing.
bigotry. It's not racism.
Okay.
They're a white mogul. Like
Yeah.
Hermione.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if there's a like I know there's mudblood for half
Yeah.
Muggle, half not, but like there's no like you're being Mugglist or.
But they're all
there's
half
not-
at this point, aren't they? There's like no pure blood.
There's half-bloods, there's purebloods, and the mudbloods are the ones who are born from 2 Muggle parents.
I thought like pure. Okay, I guess they're the ones that like are colloquially insane, like the Bellatrix Lestrange family.
Bellatrix Lestrange, yeah, she was a pureblood because they're all like inbred as heck,
Yeah.
probably like the royal families were.
Okay. I thought
Bellatrix
yeah.
Habsburg.
I just
Yeah.
thought like I thought they were like called pureblood, but there's like really no pureblood. Like that's the original thing I had heard or something like that.
That's probably true because you can't sustain
I wonder if
inbreeding to that extent for
Yeah.
that long.
Yeah, unless you get like the Henry IV kind of like French king or whatever.
I wonder if
It's probably not
Harry
even that
Potter
name.
verse has like the one drop rule. As fucked up as that is.
What?
Okay, one history lesson time. The one drop rule comes from just motioning to entire history of the West. It basically says if any relative of yours, any ancestor, is a black person, you are automatically an other, a person of color.
Okay.
One drop rule. So, yeah, this was like a big deal in, slavery times and the antebellum South, and past that, segregation, all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, super fucked up, and it just made me want to vomit talking about it. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it made me feel the same way how I feel about Tucker Carlson.
right, as you do.
Yeah.
I still am waiting for. I saw something on Twitter where a guy and his girlfriend got drunk together, and the girlfriend goes, "Did I ever tell you how I got the nickname the Dragon of the West?" And then proceeded to projectile vomit, which I hope to meet someone like that someday.
Gross.
Uncle Iro, I love you.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so sorry I interrupted you. Only a couple of lines left.
Yeah. The title. Yeah. Okay. So.
I mean, neither of us knew, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remus sighed heavily as he intoned, "Just friends," while tapping the paper. The words vanished. He refolded the now blank parchment and tucked it into his pocket. Eyes momentarily closed, Remus rubbed his forehead. After a moment, he shook himself out of his mood and finally opened his charms book, starting on his homework.
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. Right.
And that is the first chapter.
Yeah.
Oh.
So-
How many chapters is there?
2.
Two.
What did you think?
So I just love like queer anything. Like literally on Instagram, I'll go to the search bar and just heart anyone that's like queer, single or not, and just like their pictures. So I'm intrigued by this now because it's like I'm going through something similar with my own life, and maybe this will help me figure it out. And it's not written by J.K. Rowling, so
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you for like finding this and picking it out. That I really love the idea of doing. Thank you, Christy.
They did most of the heavy lifting
Thank-
on that.
Oh.
So
You're very welcome.
Are
It was my
you-
pleasure.
Are you like huge into fanfic still?
I read a lot of fan fiction comparatively. I don't read as much as I used to, but now I've started to read a lot again for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I've written, my fair share of fan fictions as well, of course.
Totally. I wrote a Jedi Knight Jedi Academy fanfic.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
sweet.
It's really bad. It's really bad, and it's mostly just like I really love Knights of the Old Republic, so I brought back the Ebon Hawk and the other things from that. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Where? How would you punch this up from what you've seen so far?
Honestly, it seems like the grammar is the only thing. I would just go fine tooth comb, go over that. I think, like, you can feel the trepidation in, I want to say Lupin, just falling for Sirius, and like, all just the two of them clearly liking each other. I would say, honestly, I think they have a good starting point. I write still mostly scripts now, and you just really have to go over it with a fine tooth comb. And
Yep.
I've been working on a script for 2 years, and now I'm just seeing the fruits of the labor where maybe it might get produced. So
Nice.
thank you. Yeah. Sorry for the little thing, but that's the only thing because it's like this is like the 10th draft, probably going into the 11th or like 11th or the polish of this 10th draft. So like I would just say, just read it over, read it backwards from the last sentence to the first sentence. Just go over it like as much as you can. Because obviously you love this world, you love this story. Do we know who the writer is?
Just the
Just
Yeah,
name.
not a real name, pseudonym. So yeah, whoever you are, if you're listening to this podcast,
still waiting for that day for someone to come back and be like, "Hey, I fucking saw you reading my story on podcast and making fun of it." It still hasn't happened yet.
I mean, one day, just
Yeah.
one,
day.
yeah,
One day.
and you'll be able to write your own story. So yeah,
Thanks again for coming on.
thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate the invite.
Yeah, no problem. Happy
Yeah.
Pride Month. Where can people find you?
Happy
online?
Pride Month. Well, I mean, Twitter at meth underscore or the line instead of like the hyphen.
Yep.
Underscore.
Yeah. So yeah, what I
Yeah.
said. I feel like I was either explaining something that people already know or people don't. And then ALIA. I have an umlaut in my name, and how it's supposed to be written without the umlaut is AELIA, but I didn't know, and I just don't want to redo it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tweet a lot of stuff, and sometimes I might get something wrong, but mostly it's in support of people of color or what's going on right now in LA with the whole Mayor Garcetti and the budget, which is that we don't have time. And some things I'll just write are funny, some things I'll just write because I'm sad, and some things I'll write just because I'm horny. I'm sorry. We all do it, except for the asexuals. We all do it.
Okay, screw that. That's the blurb on the thumbnail. Some because we're happy, because we're sad, because we're horny.
You can find me at stolen_relic, Twitter and Instagram. Right now, my Twitter is kind of sad because if you want to see the sad, go look at my Twitter. I'm not going to get into it right now.
Find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram. Find my other podcast about a shitty trading card game, Nexus at Night, at Nexus at Night. Or you can find this show at Bad Reading Pod, or you can donate to it at patreon.com/badreadingpod.
Be a McGuffin!
Be a MacGuffin. Be a
MacGuffin.
be a Deus Ex Machina. Be a shoulder angel. We don't care. We appreciate it. And donate to things like the Ultra Project or the NAACP or
BLM.
or BLM or whatever. Just help. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye. Happy
Be
Pride!
well. Happy Pride. Be you.